friends and colleagues. You know, I travel a lot for work, and that gives me an opportunity to speak with many of our colleagues all over the world. Usually, and especially recently, I have run into a common topic everywhere. That is, our colleagues are desperate because they have been prey of very unscrupulous agencies that are paying them very little, making them work a lot, and making them work in very poor and precarious conditions. You see, colleagues, I don't think we have to do that kind of work. And I have realized that some of the colleagues that I have spoken with, or for another means, they have come to the realization that there is nothing better than having your own direct clients, are doing so much better, not just financially, but also emotionally, because they do not have to deal with the stress of having to put up with anything from any of the language agencies. You see, colleagues, a lot of our friends are still working there, even though they know they could be making more money somewhere else for different reasons. Many of them do it just out of intimidation because they are afraid that if they stop working for these agencies, they will block them and they will not be able to get any work. Of course, that's illegal and that's false, but this is their belief. Other colleagues, without any foundation, have come to the conclusion, because the agencies told them, that agencies have a specific value that you need, and that without the agency, there is no way that as an independent interpreter with direct clients you can make things work out. Obviously, that is totally false. I am living proof that you can work without having to do it through agencies by just making your direct clients grow, taking care of them, and really becoming their go-to person to solve all of their language needs. Not long ago, an attorney called me and asked me if I could help him with a case. As many of you know, it's been a long time since I did work in court. However, this was not supposed to be work in court. It was work at the legal office. First, I started talking to the attorney about the case, and then when the attorney brought up the fact that he was a CJA, that is a private attorney under contract with the federal government of the United States to defend a defendant in a multiple defendant case where the public defender's office would have a conflict and could not represent all the co-defendants, I told him that I wouldn't do the job. Why wouldn't I do the job? Because I do not work with CJA panel attorneys. And I don't work with them because that is going through a middleman. In this case, the middleman is the court. In this case, you don't set all of your conditions. Even if you were to successfully negotiate a fee, two things could happen. Number one, the invoicing process would have to go through the court or through the federal bureaucracy with a lot of paperwork and things like that. And number two, these attorneys, even if you successfully negotiate with them, will never be able to pay you the fees that you should be charging, because these attorneys are not used to pay that kind of money for their interpreters. You see, a very successful attorney would really not become a CJA attorney because they will have such a great private client agenda that they don't have to. Since I was in law school and then in my legal practice, I always knew that good attorneys, whether they are civil practice, criminal practice, or anything else, will always be able to get good paying clients without having to go through anybody, whether it's a government agency or somebody else, to procure clients for them. So the same goes for us as interpreters. My friends, there is nothing better than working with your direct clients exclusively. That's the way to go. And it is doable. I do it all the time. A very few short weeks ago, I was involved in a project where many of my colleagues worked through an agency, but I did not. Why? Because the client knew me and the client contacted me directly. So even in cases where you think that the job can only be obtained through an agency, that is not true. You can negotiate with your client directly. You don't need a lot of clients. You just need some good paying clients, some clients that really value and appreciate your job. The days when you had to beg an agency to send you work, the days when you had to explain to a programmer or a project manager what it is that you do, the days that you had to be wondering if your paycheck was coming on time because the agency had not been paid by their client, even though that's not your fault at all, those days are gone. The days of those emails where you see that it is from sender to sender because you are just one of many on a list to see who is available for a job are gone. The days of watching your phone or seeing on the screen of your computer on one of the social media outlets somebody saying, I need an interpreter tomorrow at 9 a.m. without asking for a specific interpreter, without you knowing what the case is about. It's just that they want a warm body wherever they need them. Those days are over. You don't need to work for those multinational agencies. You don't need to work for those small agencies either. You do not need to work for anybody but for yourselves. We can have direct clients because we are professionals, just as attorneys do, just like as physicians do, and many other professionals. So I invite you to shed that fear and to really work on getting your own direct clients that only will demand one thing from you, that you provide a good, honest, professional service. So it is up to you to improve your skill and to improve your professionalism. Once that you do that, you are right there, and it's just a matter of going out there looking for the clients without any fear, forgetting about the agencies, and starting to enjoy your professional practice. At least that is my opinion. Thank you very much.